Peace, what's going on? Mikey Ice, right now in Bakersfield. I wanted to bring out an exclusive interview because to me these guys are pioneers, you know, in their own right, and they actually were like some of the first b-boys that I've seen that battled at the Radiotron, which was back in 1995. In 1995. And I just wanted to bring up like their history because I think it's very important that they be documented because nobody's ever really spoken to them. So if you guys can introduce yourselves to the world and let them know who you are. And I'm starting with you.
My name is Mark, and as you mentioned, we were a FreeStyle crew for many years. In fact, we own a business now, and its name is FreeStyle, and it actually came from that crew that we had.
Yeah, FreeStyle.
Yeah, and so I'm actually glad that this story is being told because every once in a while, you know, I'll go to an event or somebody will recognize me somewhere, and usually it's associated with Radiotron because they saw us on there. But there are other times where, you know, the new guys dancing have no idea who we are or what influence we had, if any, and basically what we did for b-boying and dancing. You know, I was at an event a while ago, some years ago, and it was here in Bakersfield. There are events thrown here in Bakersfield every once in a while. And I was just there in attendance. I knew some of the guys that were there. And the person that was emceeing the event said, "No, I just want to give special recognition to," and I'm not going to say who it was, but to this guy and that guy. They pioneered dancing pretty much here in Bakersfield and in Kern County. I was listening to this and I was intrigued, and I was like, okay. And then they brought up a couple of guys. I guess again, I won't mention their names. They're guys that started dancing easily 5, 6, 7 years after we did, and it was just interesting to me. Not that I want recognition, but that they didn't even know where that recognition was due, and or that they didn't even know our story, you know, to an extent. And so, so in any case, I'm glad this story is being told.
Okay. And yourself, can you introduce yourself?
Jared, actually Mark's brother, also original member of FreeStyle Crew. There's just 3 of us, me, Mark, Manny, also known as Manny Styles. Touch is Manuel or Manny.
Yeah.
And that's who I am.
Okay. Can you like give us a brief introduction of like you guys' company right now, as far as like, you know, like after breaking, what you guys have been doing after Radiotron? I guess you guys started a FreeStyle Entertainment. Can you explain that?
Well, I'll go back to 1995. A little bit after the Radiotron, I went down to live in Colombia for a couple of years in South America. A missionary for my church, the Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints, and really focused my life 100% in that direction. The neat thing about down there is I was able to meet some b-boys from down there in Colombia and South America, having no clue that anybody was even into the scene down there. Then I came back, you know, basically started a family pretty quick, and but you know was still dancing, but you know kind of grown up at that point, and but you know always still a love for hip hop, the original elements of hip hop, and we still dance to this day whenever we get a chance, even though we don't go to a lot of these events or part of the scene. You know, whenever we get a chance, or there's always that certain song that you hear that you listen to, where no matter where you're at, you could be at the gas station, the parking lot, whatever.
Right.
You know, where you bust out. And so, you know, we're older now, we have kids, but transitioning into our company, FreeStyle Event Services, you know, we started as DJs back in the day to do a little something extra to support our families, and it evolved into other elements of event production, like lighting, video projection, power distribution, and to where we're probably the biggest full-service event production company in Central California. But it's just, you know, we just love what we do and do the best that we can to service our clients. But you know, Freestyle Event Services comes from Freestyle Crew, which was a little you know, 3-person b-boy crew back in the day that we started with really no mentors, nobody to teach us or anything like that. A lot of sweat, blood, and tears, and it's so important to us and was so impactful in our lives that you know, our business to this day has the name Freestyle, and so it's just freestyle forever, you know, to the grave. For us.
Piggybacking off that a little bit, I think one of the reasons why we got into the industry and why we're good for the entertainment industry is because of dancing. We like entertaining, being in front of people, and so when that changed into DJing, you know, and making money from doing that, that entertainment value was still there, and then that evolved into lights and sound and some of these other things that we do, but it's all entertainment based, and so I attribute that to the love of dance and of entertaining and being in front of people and that kind of thing. So
right.
It's a good fit.
You had brought up something earlier about as far as like the Renegade battle. Can you tell me that story again when you were talking about you guys had battled the Renegades and it was a tie, so you got called back?
Yeah. So most people that know the history of Radiotron, at least Radiotron in the 90s, and have heard of us, know us from Radiotron 2, which was a battle with Renegades. But there's
Is that the same year?
No, I think the Radiotron 1 was the year previous.
Okay.
In 1994, if I'm not mistaken. But the Radiotron thing and the battle with Renegades and where we met them begins with Radiotron 1. And most people don't know about that, probably because the footage is more rare. I think I've only seen it once.
I've never seen it.
But nobody knew who we were. We were in LA. We went to LA. And we started entering the battles, and we kind of worked our way through, and it got to the end to where we were battling Renegades, and you know, this was going to determine the winner. And we were a little bit different. You know, I had red sweats on, and you know, I had no shoes on because that's how I used to dance a lot back then, just with no shoes. And we were flipping and doing some different elements that people didn't see as often. And at the very end, I think we won the hearts of the crowd. Renegades was also very popular, did a great job.
Yeah.
And so what they did is they called it a tie. And it was kind of smart marketing on the part of Little Caesar because it was building anticipation, I think, for Radiotron 2. They called it a tie, and the score was going to be settled at Radiotron 2 between Freestyle and Renegades. You know, in between that time, there was some marketing going on for Radiotron 2. I remember there's this huge, really cool flyer. I thought it was a really cool flyer that you know, had a b-boy on it with long hair, probably resembling the guys from Air Force. And there was a guy who was doing a flare on the, but it was a big flyer. I don't know if you remember that flyer. And it had all the names of the crews that were going to be there. And it also mentioned the battle between Freestyle and Renegades. And you know, I thought that was really, really exciting. And so all of that happened before Radiotron 2. And then we went to Radiotron 2, and I think everybody knows the story. I think Renegades practiced a little bit harder, maybe, I don't know, but they did they did a good job, and they beat us. But so that's kind of where the Radiotron gets story, the lost story is.
Right. So basically, after you guys, you guys lost that battle with the Renegades, you know, according to the judges, like, what happened to you guys, like, after that? Did you guys kind of, like, walk away from it, or?
No.
I didn't really hear from you guys too much after that, you know, because I went the following year after that, too, you know, and I got to see the X-Men versus Style Elements.
Yeah. Actually, there was a Radiotron right before that.
Okay. Before
Style Elements and X-Men. And like Jared said, shortly after that battle, he went to South America. I was still dancing with Manny. And we were practicing together and things like that. I think it was a little bit difficult to keep a crew together with two people. And so more people from Bakersfield started getting together and dancing and forming a crew, and I was kind of a bystander. I really kind of